So I'll do a spooky story time for you. A lot of people are fearful of card readings. They feel like it's wrong, it's sinful, or it could put them in danger or open up portals or have some kind of consequence spiritually, which I want to let you know that all of it's true. It could. All of it could lead to something. It could lead to something good. It could also lead to something not so good. I'll talk about my own personal experiences with them. I used to have a deck that was a lot like this angel card deck, except it was a fairy card deck. It was my one of my first ones. It was in a metaphysical shop that I walked into, and where I would get books and stuff too, though, because I was into essential oils. Because I had always been a psychic, okay, but I had also been doing. I was an esthetician, so they had books on essential oils, and they had essential oils and candles and things. So I would go there for that too. And I saw the pretty fairy deck, and I got it. So, being a psychic medium, I mean, that was like a long time ago too, because I've been doing reading cards for decades. I was pretty young. I was like early 20s, maybe later 20s. I don't know. For me, when I was 25, I was still like 16 years old, and I still feel very young. So it was like that my brain has a hard time matching up to what normal people think. But I had a fairy deck, and I would pull cards, just asking questions, practicing. And one day I did have something attack me. I'm not going to talk about exactly what. Maybe one day I will. But I'm not going to talk about exactly what. And it was really scary, and it was really bad. And I did toss that deck out. I did. But it's because if you're working with the Fae, you just never know what you're going to get. So if you get a fairy card deck, know that you need to probably, well, now I do that. I mark my corners, I place my boundaries, and I'm very specific with what I'm asking for. It's kind of like it's like online dating. If you go out there and say, hey, I want a relationship with nothing specific, right? Then you're going to get every freak in the forest, and you're going to have some bad experiences. Now, if you say, I want a relationship, and this is my checklist of what I'm looking for in my compatibility, then that narrows down your openness to things, right? So same thing with reading cards. Like, you be very specific with what you're calling upon, be very specific with your questions, and when you close, say thank you very much, we're done. And of course, with a lot of my cards, I use a lot of crystals and things to charge them, to clear the energy after readings. And another tip that I have is wear your obsidian and or keep some around to protect your energy, and to specifically say only who I call upon is allowed in and nothing else, because otherwise you can end up with hitchhikers, which are not always that fun. But if you're going to get into this realm of things, be prepared to bow. Don't be scared of it. And just know that if you are someone you have the sight, let's say you have the sight, is what I call it. You could be attacked by things. Because when I was a child, I was attacked by things. My sibling was attacked by things. My sibling is not healthy and okay now because of it. And for all those mediums out there that said those things don't exist, they exist. They do. Should you be worried or concerned about that? Yeah. But did you know that you can still be attacked by things, and be just minding your own business? You might not be doing anything. You might be going to Sunday school or church every Sunday and Wednesday. But guess what? You could still have an encounter of the spiritual kind, okay? And also of the physical people, and that you could be walking down the street and someone could come at you. So it's kind of like, just because you are living your life a certain way doesn't mean that bad things can't happen to you. If they don't, that's a really good blessing in disguise. But this is why we protect ourselves. For me, I do have I have like 5 or 6 Bibles in my home. I have Psalms. I have a prayer protection up. I salt my walls. I haven't particularly in this apartment yet, although I did feel something. Something did knock my angel wings and knock something off. Those ones. And there was a picture there and did knock it off the wall. So I had to do some cleansing and clearing, and I do Apollo, and I do frankincense and myrrh, and I also burned some incense, and I also burned some blue sage, because that is my tradition. So, you could say that this could bring on something, but it's kind of like if you're going to be driving 100 miles, or even if you're going to be driving down the road, you have to be prepared, because anything can happen, and that goes for anything in life. It doesn't matter. So I don't think this is just it. I think it's the human experience in a whole. I don't think that it's seen as bad. I also don't like to call what I do spiritual. I don't call it that. I reserve that for people who are probably practicing some kind of religious system, belief system that they have. I don't call reading energy or psychic mediumship or astrology spiritual. I don't. I call it that. I call it esoteric knowledge. I call it the occult, because it's hidden knowledge. It's seeking something higher, your higher self, seeking the knowledge from your higher self, which can include Christ consciousness, and it can include different things. So, am I against any kind of religious belief system? No, I just don't call what I do that. Now, am I Christian? Am I anything specific? No, I don't do that. No. Do I read the Bible? Yes. Have I read the whole Bible? Yes. Do I like it? Yeah, I do. But I think it's way more, the waters are way more deeper in this than people realize. And to just discount it, or to just say, if it's not for you, it's not for you. I don't blame you. What I do isn't easy for work. I had a very successful lash extension business for over 20 years, and I wanted to retire from it, or become a school, and I did teach for a long time, but in the process I had people take advantage of me financially. I was all stalked by some dude that was painting outside of the building, and I was the only one in the building, and I was lucky that day. I was lucky my angels were with me. I was lucky that day. I've had many close things, and I had to close that because the overhead was too much, and then I ended up doing what I do for work because lockdowns, because I had debt to pay off, because people sabotaged me, and I ended up doing this now. And then I don't know if I should keep doing it. When I do one-on-ones, my gifts, my talents way more seen than I can show you online. I feel like I can be a little not really able to show that online just yet. I do a lot of fun readings though, because I think you need to have a little fun in life too when you're doing readings. It can't be so serious. Although I have dealt with a lot of serious subjects for people, like missing persons, like your ex that's your husband. You need to get away from him because he's got plans on you. I've dealt with a lot of dark subjects. I've dealt with removing bad things from people's houses, like energies. So it's not just one aspect. There's just too much to cover. It's just too broad of a subject. But if you want to think that and believe that and turn yourself off to it, that's fine. But just don't have any comments about it, right? Keep calm and scroll on, that's what I say.